it's starting to feel like spring almost, middle of January. Today we're going to be looking at, actually, I know I've been saying it for the past few episodes, but actually removing the diesel stove and selling that will recoup some of the expenses of the lithium, and also the diesel tank, same idea. Also maybe going to take out the wastewater tank, and I need to get at the chain plates that are on the port side behind here. This was added as a storage kind of like by the sink. It's meant to be open storage, but it was added at some point like this for, I think, sales. So I'm gonna open that back up because I really don't need that many plates. It's just gonna be me on board, and I'll decide the rest later. But getting rid of this out of the way will help get at the chain plates that are behind there, and I'll start setting up this to be microwave and electric cooking so that I can start living on here sooner. Because right now I'm staying with family just a little bit south of here. Okay, removing that teak floor, or that teak kind of mat thing, has revealed just an incredible amount of sludge. So I'm gonna be working on that. So one thing that the survey mentioned that I haven't found yet is in the aft starboard area of the cockpit there is supposedly some fiberglass cracking or damage. So I'm gonna be looking for that during the cleanup. Yeah, wow. Also, removing that will give me a little bit more room between the lip of the deck house and the floor. I'm still gonna build an apparatus around here to make this more blue water, so that it keeps boarding seas out. It'll just be more of a step in, honestly. In fact, I might build in just like kind of a safety step in the back of the board, because it's really just going to be one big companionway board that's going to go, it's going to have a cutout already in it, but like a blue water cutout, so it's not, so it keeps water out down here in case of multiple waves coming in. I've got Sarah Kowalski. You'll remember her from the videos that are playing over the screen now, mostly to Blake Island, Paulsbo. I got Haley, now Lester, who went to the San Juans with us in the first few episodes of Project Seawolf, like way back. And I've got Sarah Newman, my fiance, who is in med school doing awesome stuff. She says hi. It's probably got tubes in it, like, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hey! Nice penny.
Oh yeah, that's right. They mounted this with coins. Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Okay. Wow! I didn't think I'd be able to carry that. Okay, so the stove is out, and there's a pretty sweet looking through hole there. It actually doesn't look bad. The only problem with it is the ball valve seems to be very stuck. Like super seized. But that's the case with all the through holes on this boat, is no one ever touched them for like 5 years. So they're all gonna be seized like that. So yeah, I'm gonna put microwave down here, electric stove here, and yeah, it should be good. I mean, I could probably modify the sink area a little bit, since the bottom of this sink is totally rusted out because it's just had seawater splashing against it for 5 years. So yeah, yeah, I need to cut back this liner so I can see the chain plates, and having this big open work area is gonna be great. Can go down, yeah. So I've opened up this area trying to get at the cockpit drain, which now I'm sure goes out behind there. or I have to reach it through here somehow. Yeah, right here. Anyway, it's not draining, and I'm probably gonna have to go through the engine room to reach it and unclog it. So that's that issue solved. Starting to tear up the quarter berth as well. This more of this space wasting strategy here, and the hot water tank. The funny thing about this one is that the cap is all the way over here. I don't know if it like exploded or what, but like, geez, look at that. Must have had some hard water on there or something. Oh yeah. Cool. Jeez. Okay. So yeah, that's going. Yeah, still haven't torn that out yet, but the at least the stove's out. So it's a party, and it's a nice day, and a lot is getting done. I think with the Blackwater tank, I'm probably gonna just cut these because there's no tube low down. I think it probably like pumps up and out. So and then clip these and get the hell out of here because it's really nasty. It's like, it looks like just a layer of fat at the bottom. It's just okay. Yeah, it's demolition time, and then I gotta build it back better. Alright, some of you have requested that I make a sticky note wall, and some of you have also responded to that saying that I don't have enough bulkhead space for the amount of jobs that I plan on doing. But I have a few ways I'm going to organize it, and I got this whiteboard, and I love whiteboards. I organize a lot of my stuff at home on whiteboards. Actually, I guess this is my home. So, yes, I'm going to keep organizing on a whiteboard. Right now, some of you are confused about why I'm doing internal jobs instead of working on like the big things like the hull fittings or the hull issues with the chain plates and everything. Here in Washington in the winter, it gets really wet, and I don't want to start tearing apart the deck until I know I'm going to have like a stretch of dry weather. So stuff on the deck and attached to the hull is going to stay where it is until I get a stretch of nice dry weather. Also, I'm waiting on the crane and the sandblasting to do a lot of hull work. As many of you know, in this yard there is no sanding or grinding up on the hull, so I won't be doing that on the outside. I'm just going to pay them to blast it, and then I'll be working on it from there and painting it myself. So that already splits it up into 3 camps. The stuff that we can do now, the stuff we can do after the crane, and the stuff we can do after sandblasting. And the crane and sandblasting are in dry weather, because after the crane takes the mast off, I don't know how well it's sealed there, but it hella drips from right here. I have to keep a bucket on the floor here because the rainwater just pours in through the mast wire holes and yeah, the mast area. So the mast wire holes, not really the mast area. Which brings up another concern that I just realized is that I should probably look at the deck underneath the mast. I was gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna repaint the boat and inspect everything, the deck and everything some more. So if there's an issue there, I'm gonna be rebuilding that, and that'll be a fun project too, rebuilding a mast foot. So what can we do now? Right now we're working on demolition chiefly. What do I mean by demolition? I mean removing panels that don't need to be here. A lot of them are aftermarket, but some of them came with the boat, I'm sure. And like the panels covering up the chain plates, those probably came with the boat. I highly disagree with that. I think you should always be able to see the back of your chain plates. So I'm taking those panels off. I don't know if the pull-out cabinets were part of the boat when it was built, but those are also going to be redesigned into something that uses the space more efficiently and that can be cleaned. As many of you also know, I'm going to be totally replumbing this boat, and that means removing the head and a lot of the water lines and actually all of the water lines, because I'm going to totally redesign the sink as well. So I'm going to redesign the sink, all the head stuff. I'm going to have to remove the holding tanks and the hot water totally destroyed hot water stuff, as well as anything that takes diesel, because I'm also moving from a diesel to an electric. That means getting rid of the diesel stove, which I did. It's going to sell and help pay for the lithium batteries. And then also the diesel tank also needs to come out. I'm out of room in the car now, but that'll be what I'm going to do in a couple days. So this is all going to be stuff that I want to do before launch, so that's going to include stuff over here and there. If I don't get to it before launch, I'll do it while I'm in the water. Some things will be more efficient that way. Rent's pretty cheap up here on the hard, but I also miss cruising. So the sooner we're off these stands, the better, I think. It's just I want to make sure I get all the jobs that I need to be up on the hard to do done. So because I'm going electric, I'm also going to need to rewire the boat, which is fine. I'm totally excited for that, because I'm going to need to be wiring a lot of sustainable energy like solar and wind, and also making it very easily compatible with the Honda generator. To charge up the pure sine wave lithium battery banks, there's going to be, this is preliminary, but probably what's going to happen when you have an electric motor, you need a propulsion bank and a house bank. So for the propulsion bank, I'm going to have ×4 48-volt Dakota batteries. Those are going to reach me to the 2 kilowatt requirement I need for the motor. And then I'm probably also going to have 4 lithium battle-borne batteries to run the kitchen, water maker, whatever, like larger loads, microwave. But first, the old wiring needs to come out. Some of that will be associated with when the mast comes down, but for the most part, I can unwire it now. So my philosophy is that I should be able to work on everything and not have to cut anything away. And so the wiring, no different. I'm gonna have to run the wires in a place that's accessible, but also partially hidden. Right now they're zip tied in the gutters underneath the deck hardware, and the zip tie hole goes right through the bottom, so the gutters don't really do anything, I guess. They just drip onto the wires, which is not ideal. So definitely gonna conduit everything. There's a lot of really good marine grade wiring on here already, so I'll probably just cannibalize a lot of it, but also I'll be working with a lot of new wiring, and they're definitely gonna need new components for using pure sine wave from the lithium. So this enters the second part, is everything I do here, I'm gonna rebuild afterwards. Before we do that, I need to fix the steering. So I'm going to fix the steering. Well, the steering doesn't need to be fixed. It's just the wires are definitely loose because there's a ton of play in the wheel. So I gotta figure out what's going on with that and replace that. So fix the steering. So as you can see, there's just a ton of plumbing that needs to be done, or just a ton of demolition that needs to be done. So after the demolition is done, then I'm gonna build it back better. So once the crane comes by, I'm gonna be able to crane out the diesel motor and sell it. Perkins 40, if you're looking for one, please take it. And also I'm gonna have the mast taken down, so then I can start working on external things, especially, and a lot of the plumbing and diesel stuff is going to have to wait until the motor is out, because the motor is covering a lot of fittings that are just really, really difficult to reach and deal with right now. Obviously, these two things open up a lot of jobs. Chiefly, I want to rebed the deck hardware because a lot of it leaks, and living in Washington, you definitely need to have a very solid sealed deck if you're living on the boat. Now that doesn't include the chain plates, which is going to come after the sandblasting, because the sandblasting, I'm going to just tell them to just grind out those lumps over the chain plates. A big job that's going to happen once the engine is out, that I'm going to need to clean the inside of that bilge like so well and look for any issues down there that need to be addressed, like rotten wood or whatever, because it's just been standing water in there, and there have been a few saltwater leaks that have been filling up that engine bilge. routinely over the past 5 years, so probably in pretty bad shape down there. So it'll be nice to just completely clean it, get it ready for the electric motor to be in there. The electric motor doesn't take up nearly as much space as the diesel, obviously, and it's not near as heavy. So I need to think about where I'm going to be putting that big water tank. Obviously you want it low and center to avoid hobby horsing the boat, but I also need to be replacing a lot of the weight back there because this boat is designed for a diesel and a big diesel tank and a dinghy in the back. So that's already like 1,000 pounds that I need to add back there somehow. So I'm hoping that the aft arch, which will go on once we're back in the water, I'm not even going to write it down here, and the water tank is going to help recoup some of that weight. I moved some things around so that you might be able to see the board, but it's likely I'm just going to have to add it on post. So obviously once the mast is down, I can start working on the mast, which means I'm going to be looking at running the ropes on the inside of the mast on the way down so that they don't cut or chafe along the mast steps. And I'm going to be rewiring the mast, whatever that means. Repairing and rewiring the mast. So the other big job that I need the dock to help me out with is the sandblasting. But once that's done, then we can really get her ready for sea. Like it's just gonna open up so much cool stuff. So I'm gonna, after I get it back from sandblasting, going to remove the old chain plates that have been ground down and sanded pretty much out, and then removed. I'm going to be replacing those chain plates with external bronze chain plates with stainless steel backing plates, both in the shrouds. Shrouds, bows, bobstay terminal, and the backstay, all going to be just big chunks of bronze. I've already got the bars. I've already got the terminal fittings. I've got everything ready to go. Just need the sanding done. The other hull fittings that are going to get removed are the through holes. So remove the through holes and fill them. Remove, fill, and replace the fittings for the through holes, the very few through holes that I'll need. The other thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to rebuild the stuffing box for the prop, and the prop shaft is going to come out. I'm going to inspect the prop shaft and the prop itself, and then once all that's done, then install the electric motor, put the prop shaft back in, and hook it all up and see if it all works. The other thing I really need to look at before we head offshore at all is the rudder and the rudder fittings, like the bearings, and make sure the struts and bearings are going to be okay. That's another huge point of failure for offshore cruisers. And finally, this will probably be June, July, maybe August, hopefully. Then we're gonna reseal the fiberglass, paint it, and get her ready to launch. Once she's back in the water, then I'll be installing the solar and wind generator. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot is to install the navigation system, which includes the new depth sounder, but I think that can also wait till we're back in the water. Actually, no. With the depth sounder, I want to make sure that I'm only using as many through holes as I absolutely need, and if the depth sounder needs a different size through hole, then that'll be really bad. So I will put that in before it launches. So yeah, for now, depends on when I launch. If I spend an extra year here on the dry dock and wait till everything is absolutely done, it means I won't be cruising in the fall and winter, which is really sad. I actually love cruising at those times. It's totally empty on the Sound, and the anchorages are beautiful, and yeah, I just love it. But with the electric motor, I'm going to really need the solar and the wind, not just rely on my generator and shore power. So actually, yeah, before I put it back in the water, I'm probably going to need to acquire and build the aft arch and put the solar on there and the wind. So after she's back in the water for a while, I'll get the... Actually, I'm punching holes in the transom for the... No, it'll be fine. The transom's way out of the water on this boat. I'm thinking about my old boat. So it should be fine. I need the wind vane for offshore navigation. So auto helm and wind vane self-steering. Those will come after it's back in the water. So that's why I'm doing a lot of internal jobs. I don't seem like I'm doing much, but mostly I'm just keeping busy before the weather gets really good and knocking out as much as this stuff before I move into these things. Because having a place that I can comfortably be inside of and live in while I'm working on these things will be very nice and will help me get more done as well. So yeah, thanks for being patient. I want to give a huge shout out to the people who have been sending me their support. Rendezvous with the Remy's sent me some support, and thank you. And also my Patreon. You can check out my Patreon in the description. Episodes will be up really early on the Patreon, so if you want to see what I'm doing a month in advance, that's the way to do it. And yeah, if you're living with people who also like to watch boat videos, then that's great. Have a watch party some night. I know it's been really hard watching me tear this beautiful old boat apart, but I think it has to be done for me to equip it with the systems that I'm going for. Mostly in the comments has been a lot of people telling me not to do any of the things I'm doing, and I'm doing them anyway. So I'm sorry to those people, and I hope you can forgive me. But yeah, I'm moving on. I'm moving towards this greater goal that is going to require a ton of work. So it's a good thing that I have a lot of time to do it. A lot of people are also upset with the amount of progress I'm making, that or lack thereof. So I'm sorry. It isn't soccer or football. It's not action all the time. Sailing is a pretty slow sport, especially cruising and building a boat. So I'm doing things as fast as I can. I also am working full time and doing a lot of different jobs other than this boat. So I wish this was my full time, and I hope it will be someday. But for now, I'm also working on other projects. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me tear things apart, talk about what's going on. Yeah, I'm back on weekly videos now. It was really stressful before when I didn't have a boat to try and make weekly sailing videos without a boat. I ended up on a lot of people's boats, and some of those experiences didn't turn out so well. So now that I have my own boat again and an infinite amount of stuff to do, it's going to be a lot easier to do weekly videos, and hopefully I won't get as burnt out as before. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm just going to continue on building the boat.